unconditional allowance and or detachment, they work very similarly in tandem, are the superchargers, are the amplifiers to your manifestation. And it has to be that way. You have to be technically okay. Now, I'm not saying accept your current circumstances in terms of just lay down and acquiesce. That's not what I'm talking about. But if you are fighting against your current reality and yet you're trying to direct your attention towards the state of your wish fulfilled or towards the circumstances that you feel represent your highest intention, desire, and design, then how are you going to do both of those things at the same time? You know, you cannot serve two masters, as the ancient text says. But screw the ancient text. How are you going to have your attention split? So I'm running away from this, yet I'm moving towards that at the same time. So over here, I have a large vibration of fear that is predominating my attention at most points in time. For instance, very basic thing. Most people don't want to be alone, right? Most people want a fulfilling relationship and a group of friends and people around them all the time, which like I don't, but many people do. Okay. So what does that mean? If you cannot sit with yourself, then everything you do is going to be a reverberation of an avoidance of the fact that I'm trying to prevent some type of undesirable reality. I'm frantically moving from person to person, hoping that they like me, trying to prevent rejection, maybe people pleasing, or scrubbing away pieces of my personality to make sure that everybody else is comfortable. I'm dating person after person after person. It seems like they're the same version of different people. Why is that? Because I'm still in a vibration of fear. Detachment is not so much just like, well, you have to be okay with it if you want it to manifest. But let's just say you're trying to manifest any amount of money to get out of, to get out of debt or to get out of something that you owe someone or, your bills are piling up. Well, then where's your focus actually? Your focus is actually, I have these bills and I don't know what I'm going to do about them. So I'm trying to direct my attention towards the presence of money. What you're directing your attention on technically is I have this undesirable thing happening and I want it to go away. All of my attention is actually on resistance. Well, if you're pushing away and trying to receive at the same time, you can't do both of those things at the same time, and that really is the secret. Once you learn to be so comfortable being in love with yourself and you see solitude not as loneliness, but as a deep form of discipline and self-respect. That is exactly the type of vibrational container or the type of field allowance that will draw in people, that will draw in friends, that will draw in family members you haven't talked to, that will draw in romantic relationships, because you're not in a fear state of I'm running away from being alone. If you're running away from being alone, then what you're technically focusing your attention on is I don't want this thing to happen. I'm sure that it is happening, and my state of being is trying to prevent it happening. Yet I want a fulfilling relationship. You simply just can't do both of those things at the same time. I was going to say it's not allowed. It's plain not allowed. You're trying to like move left and then move right at the same time. And then you wonder like, why is it that I feel that I'm stuck in place? So you learn to, and I won't even use the word accept, because accept really sounds like a type of submission. You allow things to be as they are. If you're in a period of solitude, you allow, or you're facing one, maybe you're holding on to friends or relationships because you don't want to be alone, yet you're trying to like affirm a lifestyle where you have friends and family and romantic relationships that are fulfilling. You allow those things to be what they are, and you come back home to the self where you're already whole. You are an individualized expression of God. You already are everything, but you probably have not given yourself time to sit in the presence of that. You probably have not given yourself time to even realize that anything I was chasing, and again, I speak really totally from experience, anything I was chasing out there that was disappointing or unfulfilling to me was really more of a key. It was actually more of a code. It was a pathway back to myself. There's nobody out there that can make me feel loved. There's nothing out there that can make me feel validated. There's nothing out there that can make me feel worthy. There's nothing out there that can even, make me feel abundant. You could have $1 million if you have a lack mindset. If you're always focused on why don't I have more, then you could have $1 million, $2, or I've heard it said, Tony Robbins talks about, I went to a UPW seminar years ago, and he talked about the fact that like, if you won't give 10 cents out of $1, you're not going to give $10,000 out of $1 million. What he was talking about, he was talking about like finance and business and stuff, but he was also talking about the fact that like there is no when whatever you won't do now, whatever your current state of understanding is now, it doesn't matter what the circumstances say because you are a response to the circumstance. What do you say? Who do you say that you are? If you're not somebody that's already generous, you're not going to become generous once it seems as though the circumstances have allowed you to do so, because the circumstances are not the circumstances are not what determine who you are. The circumstances are not source. So you cannot be a lot of us come to this space of spirituality and law of assumption and law of attraction, trying to get away from something. Well, I'm affirming wealth because I feel poverty. I'm affirming a fulfilling relationship because I feel empty without my SP. Well, you can have the SP or not have the SP. That doesn't really actually matter. Should you manifest them, you're going to manifest a version of them that's in alignment with the state of attention that you hold that defines your state of self. And if your state of self is, I don't have what I want and I need other people to give it to me, then you're going to continue being in that space of give me, give me, give me. I'm grabbing, I'm watching more videos, I'm buying more coaching courses because I don't know why I don't have what I want. Where is it? You're in a state of asking, where is it? It's all in you. You want love. You are love. You can be love this moment. You can decide to stop outsourcing your worth and your understanding of yourself and everything you experience to the outside and bring it in right here, right now. You can make that shift right now because you are an individualized expression of all of it. Heaven on earth is here now. But what really matters is that you choose and that you decide to stop waiting for outside circumstances to give you that experience. Once you can just allow things to whatever if your SP is ignoring you, or if the bank accounts don't look the way you want to, or you just got a rejection letter from the job you thought was going to save your life, just let it be. Like, allow that water to sit. Or Alan Watts has a quote. I love it. He said the best way to clear muddy water is to let it sit, or something along those lines. Best way to clear, I'll pull it up. The best way to clear muddy water is to let it sit. Just let it see. You're not running away. You cannot be in a space of openness and reception if you're clinging on to a past circumstance and saying that in this clinging, I want something else to be happening over here. I mean, you quite literally got the rope wrapped around yourself. Let the circumstance be what it is. Stop fighting it. Stop feeding it your attention. You don't need to do anything with it, and decide who and what you are right now in this moment. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. And you let it unfold. Materialization takes a type of persistent awareness that might look like the appearance of time. And that's just the 3D world that we're living in. Although it can happen instantly, but in terms of manifestation, that is an instant assignment based on what you declare that you are. What is your I am? Are you somebody who's waiting for love, who's trying to get it, who's looking for it to manifest? Or are you already all the love that you could already be? Like there's that you're capped, you're maxed. That stat has already, you can't do anything with it. And then when you decide my love meter is already at 100, nobody else could give me anything. And that's when stuff starts pouring in. And you might even find something, it's almost kind of annoying at certain points in time. You get used to being by yourself, and now you get all these people wanting your attention. It's like, damn, okay, well, I got to make some adjustments. You're used to spending some time with me. So, or whatever it might be. Whatever it might be, when you stop thinking about, oh my God, there's all the stuff I need money because I have all the stuff that I want. You just allow things to be, and you decide the state of your wealth. You decide the state of your abundance because it is your divine right as an individualized expression of God. You'll find yourself eventually. You'll get the ideas, and there will be a bridge of incidences that unfold that you're going to have more money than you know what to do with. You're not the person that is living in abundance is not fixated on this is all the stuff I would do if I had this money. It's just there. It just is. They're not running away from a negative circumstance. They are living in the presence. I mean, really what we're talking about here is, living in the end. They're living in the state of isness, rather than I have to get because. There is no because, or the because is you. Rather the because is like, this is my divine right. I am gorgeous. I am hot. Everything is perfect. Everyone loves me. I am abundant. Life couldn't get any better. I am divinely guided and protective. That's the because of, not the circumstances telling me I have to solve this problem. And if I continue to focus on the problem, Signing off today's episode, today's transmission of the Ministry of Assumption Absolute. My name is Lucy, and remember to be good to yourselves and others, because everybody's just a version of you anyway. And